Good morning.
All right, good morning. We're officially starting. Welcome.
There you go. Yes, come on, y'all. You can clap.
Kind of these warm summer days feel like they slow things down a little bit, but welcome. I'm John Ahmann. I'm the president and CEO of the Westside Future Fund. Just so everyone knows, we are live streaming right now, so the cameras you see up are live on our social media, Facebook and YouTube. And great to be here with you, Ebony.
Yes, thank you, John. Good morning, y'all. Good morning again. My name is Ebony Ford. I am a very proud English Avenue resident. I am an even prouder parent of my son, Jeremiah, who goes to Hollis, and I am a director at Quest CDC, all here on the West Side, Best Side. Welcome.
Thank you. We always like to start, and I know most of the folks are often attending our summits. Thanks for being here, but we always like to really welcome and recognize people that are here for the first time. So if you are a first-time attendee of our Transform Westside Summit, would you please raise your hand? All right, welcome.
Y'all have to get up and say it.
We're glad you're here. I saw a look of nervousness. Nothing's about to happen to you. But thank you for being here. We want to share a little bit about how our program will work. So one, to make sure everyone, these programs, you can see the QR code on the front desk if you want to see the program, and we have some hard copies as well if you need that, so you can see the program. It also has the bios of all the speakers and some community announcements. But in just a moment, we're going to shift to a devotion part of our program, and we're very glad that an English Avenue resident at the relatively last minute agreed to do our devotion. So thank you, Shawn, Watwood, for doing our devotion this morning. So we'll do our devotion in just a moment. And then we'll do self-introductions, and there'll be more people continuing to come in by the time we do our self-introductions. And then we are really excited that this morning, Courtney English, who is the mayor's chief policy advisor and also senior advisor to the mayor and involved in all things happening in our city. So we'll have a conversation. Courtney also serves as Mayor Dickens' appointee to the Westside Future Fund. So we're grateful for that as well. And then we will close out with, as always, our drawings for the Home Depot gift card and the Goodwill card.
Absolutely, yes. So make sure, excuse me, you guys, make sure you do get your red and your blue tickets at the table when you walked in the door to, again, be eligible for the gift card drawings at the end of our summit this morning. I'm looking very much forward to this conversation about the mayor's quality housing for everyone's agenda. It's an ambitious but a commendable goal that covers affordable housing investments, supporting legacy, which I am, and senior residents, secure and safe housing, and unhoused Atlantans. So the Dickens administration has been extremely busy since 2022.
No, thank you. And we wanted to also share some upcoming events. So one we're very excited about is the Westside Future Fund. We'll be doing a groundbreaking, actually, appreciating Courtney. I see David Edwards as well from the mayor's office. Welcome, David. Is that we've got Mayor Dickens leading this groundbreaking at 646 Echo Street. This is about a block south of Donnelly Howell. It'll be a 24-unit multifamily. So we're excited about, this is our second new build. And because of the deep affordability we have embedded into some of the units, it's thanks to philanthropic support we've got from the James and Cox Foundation and the Arthur Blank Family Foundation. And Oaks ATL out of English Avenue is our contractor for the build out. So we're excited about that. And this will be on August 5th at 11 a.m. So if you want to come join the groundbreaking led by Mayor Dickens, August 5th at 11 a.m. And then we have coming up on September 28th, our Ride for the West Side. So if you like to walk, run, or bike, we want you at our event. And if you don't do any of those three things, we still want you at our event. So our Ride for the West Side is the third year we've done it. We are partnering with Quest as part of the Ride for the West Side. And so we want to raise awareness about the West Side. We're very intentional about the route to call out a lot of the historic sites on the West Side. It's also a great activation event. We bring a lot of people who've never been to the West Side to the event. So we'd love for you to register for the event. There's the QR code. And we also, to keep track of all the things that we're doing, remind you to sign up for our e-newsletter. And also want to, and as part of our e-newsletter, we always have a couple stories every month about people in the community, either moving into the community or opening a business in the community or a long-time business in the communities, or stories of impact. So if you have a story of impact to share, I'm going to ask Candace to hold her hand up, our most excellent communication director. So if you have some ideas you'd like to get out there, please talk about that with Candace.
Absolutely. Hey, Candace. And she is excellent, that is for sure. And we also want to invite you guys to get connected with us via Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Facebook, and I think we're also on LinkedIn as well. If you're watching the summit right now on YouTube, please make sure that you subscribe to our channel as well. But come here in person next time, but we appreciate you watching as well.
No, thank you. Thank you, Ebony. So now we're going to shift to the devotion part of our meeting, and to first set it up, especially those that are new. The devotions are really important part of the grounding of our program. We've been doing this since we started our Trust Fund Westside Summits, and we take inspiration for devotions from the story of Nehemiah. So the story of Nehemiah in the Old Testament about rebuilding Jerusalem, and a story not just of rebuilding physical space, but of rebuilding community. And so we always ask our devotion speakers to just take some inspiration from Nehemiah as a framing metaphor for our devotions. But we also, just to kind of ground the devotion, we have a devotion statement that we put up, and also just to ensure that it's said, I also read it. I'm going to do that now. It's become our tradition to begin our meetings with a positive, inspirational message from a member of our community, recognizing that many in our community are driven by their spiritual faith to participate in the Westside revitalization effort. At the time at the beginning of our meetings is an opportunity to share various inspirational reflections. While the speakers may articulate their personal faith, it's meant to be inclusive, inspiring, and meaningful, with the story of Nehemiah as our guide. And so I'm grateful that Shawn, who lives in English Avenue, will be leading our devotion. He's also the Senior Manager of Corporate Partnerships and Sales for A&B Sports and Entertainment. So a lot of the activation that occurs at the Home Depot backyard is thanks to Shawn. Yeah. He attends every summit, and you do. All right. You were great. And he's also, the section that Shawn lives with his wife on English Avenue, there's actually a whole kind of a built-out new block, and I know kind of led the way in building community. So that back to that story of Nehemiah and kind of reclaiming a part of English Avenue that wasn't well populated at all, but from that building community, you've really led the way on that with your wife. And so we're grateful that you're stepping up to lead our devotion this morning, and welcome him up to the stage.
Come on, Shawn.
Thank you. All right. Can you guys hear me okay? All right, fantastic. So both my grandfathers are Pentecostal ministers, so I might run to my car and get my tambourine, because this is going to go one or two ways, definitely. So first, let me tell you the story of how I got here, right? I am I always say, evangelist for the West Side. When I first came to Atlanta, I worked right here off Lowry at King Plow at True Colors Theater. It has always been my Atlanta. My first indoctrination to Atlanta was right here off Lowry, and I've never left, right? So I want to say a year and a half ago, I've been coming here. Tamika kept bothering me in a lovely, wonderful way, as a sister does, of we need to get you on the West Side. We need you to move over here. And I'm like, not me. It is not for me. Listen, it's not my journey. I don't have X amount of dollars. I'm not ready for it. She goes, would you please just sit and have the conversation? So we're at one of the summits, and they're flashing all the available houses, and I'm like, oh, that yellow one's cute. And she's like, just have the conversation. And within 30 days, I closed on my house. Right? I think I still might hold a record for that. But what it gave me, the Westside Future Fund gave me family, right? I don't have any natural-born family in Atlanta. This fills my cup. Why I never miss a meeting is because this fills my cup. This fills my soul. This is community. This is all of us making a place a little bit better, right? We have my neighbor, my block, Tamika, you guys have built out the best block of people. I have a WhatsApp group of all of us of like, hey, I'm out of town. Can you walk my dog for me? Yo, listen, I have a package delivery. I'm running late for work. Can you grab it? Oh, why don't we have power? Or this, that, and the other. Like, it is community. And what they gave me is I've had places to live, but I've never had a home. And the Westside Future Fund gave me a home, right? And let me tell you even a little deeper story, which you guys know. I found love on the West Side, right? So that's true. So I was a board member of the Essential Theater. We hold a Georgia Playwright contest all the time at what was the Performing Arts Center over here on the West Side. And they're like, Shawn, you have to come to a show. And I'm like, oh, I'm tired. I work at the stadium. We do a million different things. So I go. This lovely young woman walks out on stage as the actor in the show. And I'm like, well, I'm glad I'm here. Stayed afterwards. Talk to her. We both were from we both went to the same college. We met here. Our moms are both teachers. We met here. Never knew each other. Within maybe 7 months, we're now married, obviously. And we've been married a year, so she's involved as well on the Westside. She works at Second Helpings. So we always joke, we never leave 4-block radius. And I love it. I do work at the stadium. I help integrate community programming into the backyard. And how I do, everyone's like, oh, I don't really like sales. How I sell myself on sales is that if I can sell this, everyone can come for free. And that's what we get to do. So what my inspiration is now is basically what happened today, right? Chris and I were talking about the universe does universe things. The universe has been doing universal things before all of us were here, so let it, right? There is no perfect time. There is no perfect moment. There are moments that we make perfect because we step in. It is us who tells ourselves no. When the universe, God, whatever your spiritual following is telling you to go, right? That's the main difference. We're like, oh man, when it's perfect, Nehemiah's like, you know what? Maybe I need to wait for a different leader. Maybe I need to wait for a different coworker to come alongside me. If I can find one person who's leading the way, then I can follow. That's not how it works. The moments present itself, and it will not feel perfect. We will not feel ready. We will not feel like we are able to meet that moment. We find our passion and our path by walking our path with our passion. Nehemiah saw a problem, and he's like, listen, y'all with me? Cool. Y'all without me? Fine. I'm still going to try to help build this wall and make it a better place. So what that means to me is me stepping into a job that I really did not even apply for. I don't know if y'all know this. I did not apply for the job I have now. I applied for a totally different job. They said no. And Shawn, being Shawn, said, I'm the best candidate you'll ever find for that job. And then my boss at the time says, you know what? I have a different job for you that I really think you'll be better for. And I didn't want to do it. My dad was in sales, never wanted to do sales. She's like, it's sales. And look how my life has changed. And it's not just me that I got to bring alongside, right? Moments happen for us, not to us. It wasn't just me. I brought in small businesses who are now, selling in the backyard. We gave $100,000 back to, local businesses because of that. All because I was able to step in and bring my family with me. So all the advice I would give you is there is never a perfect time. There is never a perfect moment. It is not the opportunity that makes it special. It is you guys that makes it special. So step into it. Whether you're scared, you will be. Whether you feel ready, you won't be. You'll figure all this out while you're doing it. But the only way we're going to get change is by getting up and making change. And that's when, if no one leads, no one can follow. We just need one person to step and do the change. John, you're part of it. Ebony's part of it. Tamika's part of it. Candace is part of it. And now we have all us to follow. You'll see me out at, Katherine Johnson picking up trash. And all of a sudden, there's guys who are unhoused helping me pick up trash. You'll see a trash bag hanging at one of the trees because listen, why is this guy doing this? Best line I've ever heard is I was cleaning up around the Katherine Johnson and they're like, I'm over time. I can't believe that. But I was finished with this way. They're like, they got white people cleaning up the park over here. So that being said, guys, I encourage all of you to listen to the go and not the no. Don't be driven by fear. Follow your faith. Thank you all for being here. Love and light. Appreciate you all.
All right, well, Shawn, that was awesome. Shawn, literally, we had a last-minute change, so he stepped up with about 15 minutes notification to deliver that devotion. So that was awesome. And one piece that really spoke to me, Shawn, is when you talked about how you're building community from a family perspective. And I'm just reminded from faith's perspective, often reminded that we're all sisters and brothers as children of God. And I think one of the things that I really take a lot of inspiration from faith users like Dr. King is that reminder at a core level. And so to see you building community from that perspective and all that energy you bring to it and what you've been able to accomplish with your wife is really a great shining example of building that kind of a community we all want to call home. So let's thank you again for leading that. And so back to building community. One way to build community where we really know each other is why we take the time and every devotion, and for those that are new, every devotion we take the time for everyone to stand up, to share their name and share their, affiliation, like, I work here or I live here, and then we ask you to not say anything more than that. Not that we don't really want to hear it, but we're trying to get around the whole audience. But really, and for those that are coming for the first time, there's been so much amazing connectivity that have come out of people from these summits getting to know one another. So we really encourage you as the self-introductions are happening to listen to who's being introduced, as well as think about folks that you may want to follow up either from a service perspective or maybe that'll help you. But that's why we take the time every single summit to do these self-introductions. So I'll ask you to stand up. Ebony's going to go around the room and stand up and make sure when you self-introduce to hold the mic relatively close to your mouth so it can pick up what you say.
You ready? I'm ready. It's always hard being first, right?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tanya M. Williams. I am the broker and principal of Williams Realty and Consulting, and also the Zoning, Housing, and Land Use Committee Chair for English Avenue neighborhood.
I mean, you guys already talked to me, but just to let you know, I'm an English Avenue resident, proud on the West Side. I'm Senior Manager of Corporate Partnerships for the Home Depot Backyard at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Hello, everyone. I'm Justine Veal, part of the Grove Park Neighborhood Association.
Good morning. I'm Camille May, Grove Park resident and Spelman College graduate.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Taryn Love. I'm the Marketing and Outreach Specialist for Partners in Change.
Hello, everybody. My name is Aminata, and I am the Volunteer Recruitment Specialist for Partners in Change.
Hi, I'm Neil Shorthouse with Partners in Change, Personal, Social, and Economic Upward Mobility.
Good morning. My name is Bob Dickinson. I am the founder and executive director of STEAM Sports Foundation. We provide scholarships to women of color who aspire to careers in motorsports or automotive engineering. And yes, we are squarely in the sights of the DEI honors.
Hi there, Scott DeMeyer, lover of in-town commercial real estate.
Good morning. I'm Almarie Brennan, and I'm a civil engineer with Kimley Horn.
I'm A.B. Cooper, legacy family member, Martin Luther King, Old Hunter Street, since the 1930s, and a filmmaker since the 1970s.
Hi, I'm Shirley Henderson Coleman. I'm Director of Development and Marketing with Sadie G. Mays Health and Rehab Center.
Good morning, everyone. I'm the Assistant Executive Director. My name is Malik Hakeem. I'm the Assistant Executive Director for Sadie G. Mays Health and Rehab.
Good morning, everybody. Bakari Brooks, President and CEO of Brooks Built Homes and Board Chair of Habitat for Humanity Northwest Chapter.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tori Nguyen. I'm Managing Director of Gensler, a global architecture firm. And this is my first time being here and just really inspired by the work that you're all doing. So thank you.
Hi, my name is James Summer. I'm a managing director with Ernst & Young, and like Tori, it's my first time here and just love what's going on the West Side.
Hey, I'm Ann Curry with Cox Curry, and I have friends on the West Side.
Good morning, Carol Waddy, Chick-fil-A Corporate Social Responsibility.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Malia Cooper with Chick-fil-A Corporate Social Responsibility and a Westside resident.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lauren Soroyer. I'm with Chick-fil-A Corporate Social Responsibility. It's my first summit.
Good morning. My name is Kristen Mosley. I'm with Chick-fil-A Corporate Social Responsibility and a recent Spelman graduate.
Good morning. My name is Julie Feltz, also with Chick-fil-A.
Brian Boutte, Corporate Responsibility, Chick-fil-A. I'm not a Spelman graduate, but I'm the last Chick-fil-A person.
That was funny. Good morning, Michael Davis, Deputy Executive Director, Atlanta Beltline Partnership. Sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't know you're behind me.
Not block the camera, but keep some sort of order here.
Good morning. I'm Robert Young. I'm in Atlanta, City of Atlanta,
native, and I'm a real estate developer. Thank you.
Alan Young, I'm his son, and I'm a native Atlantan and home builder, and also a Grand Knight of Knights of Columbus, Council 15161, Our Lady of Assumption, looking for volunteer opportunities to partner with in the neighborhood.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Muriel Murphy, and I'm a resident of the Westside.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sarim Dees, who's my husband, Glenn Dees here. We are here to find our home, the Westside.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sandra Bush, and I'm a resident of the Booker T. Washington neighborhood. Booker T and I have something in common. We are both graduates of Hampton University.
Greetings, everyone. Sandy Rogers, representing Atlanta Healers Network.
Hi, everyone. I am Rosario Hernandez. I am a resident of English Avenue. Hi. And I'm also the executive director of Historic Westside Gardens. Not a commercial, but we teach people how to grow food.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Leroy Wright, Senior Pastor of First Thessalonian Missionary Baptist Church, and a friend of Carol Waters.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Peyton Savannah Prokes, and I'm a program coordinator with Gwinnett County Government.
Morning, everyone. My name is Richard Taylor with ARC, and also the Zoning Committee and Land Use Chair and the Atlanta Planning Advisory Board Delegate of the MPU next door.
Good morning, everyone. I am Thelma Renault, and I am a lifetime resident of English Avenue.
Good morning, family. I'm Tillman Ward, President of Community Resources and Solutions, lifelong resident, Historic Westside, graduate of Morris Brown College, Washington High, and the authors of the Historic Neighborhood Planning Unit. Welcome, you're in the right place.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Trevor Gunter, and I'm an English Avenue resident.
Good morning. I'm Susan Banner. I'm the founder of Most Valuable Kids of Greater Atlanta and a proud board member of Zabin Parity Center.
Good morning. My name is Danny Lester Drew. I'm Executive Director of Zabin Parity Center. We operate an emergency shelter for couples experiencing homelessness and hope to be a resource for those of you in the West Side.
I'm Scott Edline. I'm also from Zabin Parity Center.
Hello, my name is Marcellus Lewis, Westside resident, CAU graduate, and representing Inside Hope Not Violence. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Larry Gluth. I provide leadership to the Bobby Dodd Institute.
Good morning, y'all. My name is Kai Harris. I'm here representing the Southern Poverty Law Center. I am leading our community engagement efforts on the West Side as we prepare to make English Avenue our new home for our work in Georgia.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Hyder-Bardil. I am a resident of Washington Park, and I am the clinical director at Families First.
Good morning. My name is Archie Emerson. I am currently the president for the Empire Board of Realtors, one of the oldest black trade organizations in the United States. I am also the first VP for the VA rep. We represent veterans. I'm a broker owner, dedicated realtor, and also serve as the broker for the Westside Future Fund, making sure we can help homeowners become part of the West Side. And I'm also a HUD housing counselor.
Good morning. I'm Leila Gill, a member of the Empire Board of Realtors and NID Housing Counseling Agency.
Bob Butler, COA Banker Real Estate.
Good morning. I'm Noriko Walker with Georgia Tech Real Estate.
And I'm Tony Zivlich with Georgia Tech Real Estate, and we're responsible for those two buildings to the north here.
Good morning, everyone. My name is James McGee, and I'm a student at Morehouse College and an intern for External Affairs at AT&T.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Taylor Faith McKee, and I'm an External and Legislative Affairs intern for AT&T, as well as a junior at Spelman College.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Brooks Rolette. I live in the southwest small but mighty historic district of Adair Park. I'm here representing Adair Park today, our neighborhood organization, as the president, the vice president, and the transportation committee chair. And I would personally like to thank Invest Atlanta for choosing us to be part of their pilot program with the tax relief credit fund for legacy residents.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kendall Cunningham. I am a district executive for the Boy Scouts of America Atlanta Area Council, and I service the Southwest Atlanta area.
Thank you, Kendall. My name is Tracy Tekow. I'm also with Boy Scouts of America. I get to work with Kendall, and we deliver the scouting, but I'm really just here for the spicy Chick-fil-A biscuit every Friday. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Brian Wismer, a City of Atlanta project manager for the Mayor's Neighborhood Transformation Initiative.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Akila Blunt, and I'm the founding president and CEO of an organization called the B Club, Becoming Empowered Through Education. We are a peer leadership group for girls, and I am leading a now regional initiative in Georgia to provide leadership development programs for teen girls in schools. So I am here to become a part of this community.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alana Pegler. I'm a commercial insurance wholesale broker and also part of the illustrious B Club, Inc., serving as the board and committee member.
Good morning. My name is Keenan Akers. I'm a financial professional with New York Life.
Good morning. My name is Jay Matthews. I'm with the City of Atlanta Department of City Planning. I'm an assistant director in the Office of Housing Community Development.
Good morning. I'm Ken Stockdale with the Georgia World Congress Center Authority.
Good morning. I'm Pamela Aline. I'm a resident of Vine City.
Good morning. I'm Brian Aline. I'm a resident of Vine City.
Good morning. My name is Larry Bride, and I am the president at LBC Construction.
Good morning. Happy Friday. My name is Anthony Bellows, and I am a legacy resident of English Avenue and a volunteer.
Good morning. My name is Ariana Bryant, and I am a Community Development Officer, the In-Town Community Development Officer for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Good morning. My name is Paul Duke, Business Development Manager with Stand8, an IT solutions company.
Good morning. My name is Corey Bishop with Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation.
Good morning, I'm Akil Royale. I am the co-founder of the Black Tepper LLC, where we specialize in renewable energy and sustainability.
Good morning, I'm Maria Alexander, and I'm a Westside resident.
Good morning, I'm Jacqueline Smalley, native Atlanta. I work for the Children's Museum of Atlanta. I am the Assistant Director of Outreach Programs. We have 20 sites in the city of Atlanta, and 9 of those sites are on the west side.
Mindy Cow, Project Manager with Department of City Planning.
Good morning, I'm Tamil Harris from the Mayor's Office of Policy.
Good morning, I'm Joseph Arrington of the Westside Merchants Association.
Good morning, Kelly Benton. I'm with the Mayor's Office of Constituent Services, Community Affairs, and I graduated from the School of Hard Knocks, better known as MPUL.
Hey, good morning. My name is Michael Ruffin. I serve as Director of External Affairs for AT&T. And I just wanted to make a quick announcement. I know we're supposed to be brief, but next Thursday at the Home Depot backyard, AT&T is distributing 500 laptops and backpacks, a part of our campaign to bridge the digital divide. And I also want to thank our partners, the Home Depot backyard, and of course, the wonderful Carol Waddy and the Chick-fil-A family. Thank you guys so much. And I have a bunch of registration flyers here for everyone, so thank you all.
That's hard to follow. Good morning, everyone. My name is Maria Majai. I'm the Innovation Team Director for the City of Atlanta. So excited to meet Atlanta folks. I'm part of the Bloomberg American Sustainable Cities Initiative.
Good morning, Charles Merriweather for Goodwill, where we put people to work.
Okay, I think we may have a couple of people.
Hi, good morning. Rob Bronner, Executive Director with the Atlanta Beltline Partnership.
Good morning. My name is Frank Morales. My wife and I are green affordable housing providers here in Northwest Atlanta.
Hello, I'm Maria Supporta of Supporta Report and Atlanta Way 2.0.
Anyone else? I think we have a little time. Okay, well, give yourselves a round of applause. Definitely, yes. Okay. Oh my gosh, yes, you guys snuck in.
Yes. Good morning, I'm Beverly Daniel Tatum, board member, Westside Future Fund, former chair, and past president of Spelman College.
Good morning, everybody. Danita Knight, President and CEO of YWCA Greater Atlanta. And in case you haven't heard, we're bringing back the Phyllis Wheatley Westside YWCA next year. Thank you.
Good morning. I know you just walked in. Oh, you okay?
Hi, good morning. Tangi Allen. I'm one of the co-founders of Raising Expectations. It's a pleasure to be here this morning.
Angie, thank you. Thank you. All right, you guys, I think that's it. We also have most of the Westside Future Fund team around the perimeter that's helping out. We appreciate y'all too, and we also have the production team here. So yeah, round of applause for you guys, for yourselves. Thank you.
All right, thanks for doing that on the self-introduction. So folks that are here for the first time, hopefully, you got a sense of why it's so important for you to do that. And again, if you heard someone that you'd like to introduce yourself to or think someone you can be of service to, would really encourage those follow-up connections like we heard Shawn did in his devotion. So thanks for taking the time to do this. Thanks for Ebony for leading the mic around. And so now I'm very happy. I'm going to ask to come in just a second, but Courtney English, who is the Chief Policy Advisor and Senior Advisor to Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens. Courtney has been, and I'm going to can talk a little bit more about what he does with the mayor as part of the Q&A. But I was trying to remember, Courtney has been about helping the city of Atlanta, I think, for his whole professional career. And before he, one of the other major roles he had was an elected official at the Atlanta School Board and became chair of the Atlanta School Board. Stressful. Right. Very stressful. And I know Courtney brings a tremendous amount of passion to his work on behalf of our city. And so we're really lucky to have him here this morning. Come on up, Courtney, and let's welcome him up. So I'm going to do about 15 minutes or so of Q&A with Courtney, but then we're going to open it up to the audience. And so then we'll be, let you ask your own questions as well. So first I thought I would just start, Courtney, is to share a little bit with folks about, where you grew up, how, and how your early years, because I've heard you say it in other forums, how your early life experiences have also informed your work today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first, thank you, John, and the entire Westside Future Fund team for your incredible leadership and work. We are really just trying to follow your lead at the City of Atlanta in an attempt to build healthy, whole neighborhoods all across the city. So just thank you. I want to honor your leadership, and of course, see a ton of friends in the audience. Hey, everybody. My name is Courtney English. I'm born and raised in the city of Atlanta, a proud graduate of the Atlanta Public Schools. I taught in APS as well. I actually taught 7th grade social studies in the exact same room I took 7th grade social studies. I've had family who has grown up in English Avenue, Vine City all my life. I think I am probably named after the guy whose English Avenue is named after. We got to figure that out, David. We're going to do some Ancestry.com type stuff. Went to church, or go to church at Antioch, was baptized by Cameron Madison Alexander. I was married by his son, my brother, Kenneth Alexander. And so the West Side is, of course, deeply important to me. I tell the story about me growing up in Atlanta because, as you, I think, alluded to, John, it really does shape the work we do every single day. I never was able to attend the school in my neighborhood. It was one of the lowest performing schools in the city of Atlanta, really one of the lowest performing schools in the entire state of Georgia. And so what my mom did was, this is a technical term, everybody, we call it the address hustle. Right? Now we only gonna keep that between friends, but for those who don't know, the address hustle is when you write down on a sheet of paper that you live with a friend, a family member across town so you can go to a better school. And essentially I watched my mom fight with government my entire life to give me the education she thought I deserved. Because of her fight, I graduated from the best high school in Atlanta, Frederick Douglass High School. Yeah, I'm sorry. I hear some white and high people in the house, but yeah, Frederick Douglass High School. Later on, graduated from Morehouse, Columbia, served on the school board. All right, and did a whole lot of good work there. But one seminal moment inside of the classroom while I was teaching, kind of struck a nerve. I thought I was a pretty good teacher, and I was teaching a class on the Inca and Aztec or something like that, and I had one of my special students, if you will, who was just doing special things in the back of the class, and I thought I was doing it right. I got all the kids engaged, doing all the stuff that I was supposed to be doing. Long and short of it, I ended up pulling the guy out of class and said, like, look, what's going on tonight? I mean, what's going on with you today? And he simply looked at me and said, and this is a 7th grader, he looked at me and said, look, man, the Inca and Aztec stuff you're teaching me, no disrespect to the cultures, they're not going to help me feed my little sister tonight. That student's name was Shawn, and he was 12 years old, head of household, essentially. His father ran into some trouble, mom was addicted, and at 12 years old, Shawn was 1,000% correct. He was couch surfing along with his little sister. And so when I think about everything that we do now in the mayor's office and everything that I've done since then, really, I'm thinking about Shawn. I'm thinking about how we build healthy, whole neighborhoods, how we create stable housing opportunities, how we make sure folks are fed, how we make sure folks have access to jobs that pay living wages, that allow them to work their way up the economic ladder. I think about my mom. No parent should have to fight to give their kid a good education. And so everything we do, everything I have done has been really driven by those who kind of guidepost, if you will. And so that's what the work in the mayor's office is about. The mayor built a whole team that's designed to take big shots, if you will, that's designed to tackle intractable problems, income inequality, lack of affordable housing, youth development, and a whole host of other issues. And so that's what I get to do every single day in the city I love. So.
No, thank you. And before we talk more about the mayor initiatives, because you have a unique portfolio, and I think some of that portfolio is just structured around your own very set of unique experiences. Living on the West Side, former elected official, all the deep policy knowledge you bring from all your experience. But share with people kind of your scope of your responsibilities and kind of what a day-to-day. Well, I don't think there's any similar day for you, but some sense of like, what is a day like for Courtney English?
Well, now I'm becoming a water expert. No, I'm just, too soon? Too soon?
Hey, here you go.
We can talk about that too if y'all want. So I'm the Chief Policy Officer for the city and Senior Advisor to our mayor. About a year and a half ago, the mayor created the Office of the Chief Policy Officer that's really designed, again, to tackle those large-scale intractable problems that have existed in Atlanta for far too long. So affordable housing is one. Efforts around youth development is another. Economic development. We know that we have an issue of economic mobility in this city. We're one of the lowest levels of economic mobility. It's harder for folks to work their way up the economic ladder in the city of Atlanta, probably harder than it is in anywhere else in the country. And that's not who we want to be as a city. And so the mayor created this office and put a team of experts that I have the ability, or have the pleasure rather, of working with every single day to address those issues. And so all of the issues, candidly, that y'all spend a lot of time talking about, from affordable housing to transit options, to access to green space, to how we make sure generally we have healthy, whole neighborhoods, I get to work on every single day. And so I don't have to worry about potholes getting filled or roads getting paved. That's important. Somebody else does that. And so if you got a problem with that, do not call me. But we are working every single day to, again, ensure that Atlanta has as healthy whole neighborhoods, that every citizen has access to affordable housing, every citizen has access to a job that pays a living wage, every citizen has access to transit options, and every citizen has the capacity to work their way up the economic ladder. Our guidepost, if you will, our North Star, is to make Atlanta the best place in the country to raise a child. And if I had a job description, it would be that. And so, you know, there are a lot of elements to get there. And so we could talk about those a little bit later. Yeah.
No, and I think it'd be great to share. And what I appreciate about you know, the mayor and the team that you and he have put together is y'all bring a lot of you know, experience and been thinking about these issues for quite some time before, you know, the positions you are. And I know that has really informed how fast y'all have been able to, you know, lay down a real policy template for how you want to go after. So share with folks here kind of the essential parts of the mayor's neighborhood initiative that you're leading, because especially I know you focus on a set of neighborhoods. Share a little bit with folks here what that is and the key priorities of it.
For sure. So we believe that the key unit of change inside of the city, inside of any city, is the neighborhood. We believe it is the central focus of impact, if you will. It's where folks come together. It's where good things happen. It's where people are connected. It's also, when you get it wrong, is where poverty can dwell. It's where crime can dwell. It's where all of the things that we don't want to see happen in cities can manifest themselves. And if we're honest about ourselves, and we like to be honest, and so you know, the city of Atlanta has, for too long, has been a tale of two cities, right? And that didn't happen by accident. That was intentionally designed through a series of racist policies, right? Through a series of racist housing policy, series of racist zoning policy, series of racist educational policy that was designed to divide people. And it was designed to candidly starve some of our neighborhoods of amenities, of access to just basic needs, right? And so when we drive around our neighborhoods, and I'm gonna get a little long-winded here, but this is important, and I mentioned water earlier. Does anybody know why, you know, water only impacted, the first water break, not the second one, the first water break only impacted certain areas of the city? It's because when they designed the city, they literally they created black pipes to go in one direction and white pipes to go in a different direction. And so when the thing broke at Broadley, right, on the corner of Broadley, the black community was impacted, and parts of downtown were impacted more so than Midtown and Buckhead. Think about that for a second. It's 100 years ago, but that's how the city was literally created, right? And so because those decisions were made, again, to separate people, and, you know, I like to say the system isn't broken. The system is kind of functioning how it's supposed to function. And so because it was an intentional decision to segregate folks and to divest from our neighborhoods, it will require intentionality to fix it, right? And so the mayor has a neighborhood initiative designed to do just that. We have identified 7 target geographies, 6 neighborhoods throughout the city, the entire Campbellton Road corridor, the entire Bankhead corridor. I'm a Bankhead guy because I'm born and raised in Atlanta, but I can say Hollowell too for all the Hollowell folks, if you want me to call it that. But the entire Hollowell corridor, Thomasville Heights is in southeast Atlanta for a long time. It was the poorest census tract in the state of Georgia, and coincidentally had the lowest performing school in the state of Georgia. And so our goal is to put together the right kinds of ingredients to create healthy whole neighborhoods. So, right, we've got to have affordable housing. That's a central building block. We've got to have access to high quality education. We've got to make sure we have transit options in our neighborhoods. We've got to have grocery stores in our neighborhoods because we know that too many folks are living in the middle of food deserts inside of our city. And so those are the various aspects, a few of the aspects in which we are intentionally every single day working to bring back to those neighborhoods. We're taking the model that Westside Future Fund has created. We're trying to create community quarterbacks inside each one of these communities and candidly give folks what they haven't had for a long time. You know, a lot of folks in the city have been promised a lot of stuff for a long time. And so when we show up in communities, folks are like, hey, wait a minute. You know, we had a neighborhood master plan in 2004. And then it got updated in 2008. And then we had another one in 2012. And then you ask, well, how much of that stuff has actually happened? Not a lot. And so there's a responsibility that this mayor has to make it right for those folks and make it right for the city as a whole. David Edwards, my colleague, is the mayor's policy advisor for neighborhoods. You can raise your hand, David. He's a quiet guy, mostly. And then you've heard some of our neighborhood team here as well.
No, thank you. And I appreciate David. Maybe just a second, if you're a part of Courtney's team, so everyone knows you here, maybe raise your hand.
Just the city, just the city.
The city, yeah, raise your hand if you're from the city. So folks, so thank you for being here. And we appreciate it. And one thing I wanted to come back on, the tale of two cities.
Yes.
So, I also an Atlanta native, but I grew up in white Atlanta. I grew up in Druid Hills, Candler Park. And now live in Vine City. And the thing I didn't fully appreciate till I really, living and working on the West Side, just what a dividing line North Side is.
Yes.
And just that transformational change that happens, which when you go back in the history of the city was all, to your point, very intentional in terms of the dividing line, but also the criticality of housing.
Yes.
Because it's not just access to housing, but quality housing. Because the way, unfortunately, a lot of people, in order to be able to afford housing, the type of housing they live in is just deplorable. And then to expect, back to your story of a teacher, people do everything else you want them to do. If they don't have stable, high-quality, affordable housing, I didn't really appreciate how core that was until I got, with the work with the Westside Future Fund. But talk a little bit, because I know it's something y'all are working so hard on. I see Larry here, who chairs the Mayor's Atlanta Housing Authority, Grove Park residents. Thanks for being here, Larry. But talk a little bit about the Mayor's housing initiative and where y'all think y'all are in that, because I know that's one that y'all have got a special focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. We say affordable housing is our love language at City Hall. If you want the mayor, or if you want City Hall to do anything, come talk to us about housing first, and we'll do whatever you want after that, right? So if you show up and say, I want to build some housing, our answer is going to be yes. Because it is that important. We need tens of thousands of housing units in the city of Atlanta. Atlanta, for whatever reason, stopped building housing for a very long time. Supply has not kept up with demand. Prices have gone up. People have been displaced. And so the mayor's got a goal of building or preserving 20,000 units of affordable housing over an 8-year period. In 2.5 years, we've delivered 5,000 units of affordable housing already, with another 5,000 units in the pipeline. So we're well on our way towards reaching that goal. We did another $100 million housing bond. We've raised $240 million in private philanthropy to help support those efforts, working with our friends from the Community Foundation and the Whitehead Woodruff Foundation as well. And so we're working every single day to do exactly what I just said, which is get housing out of the ground faster. The mayor created what we call the Affordable Housing Strike Force, which I have the pleasure of chairing that team. And really what it is anybody, anywhere with any land, right? If you're a public agency, he's a housing fan. Anybody, anywhere with publicly owned land, we are sitting in a room planning together. Housing doesn't happen in silos, right? And so you've got Invest Atlanta is at the table. Of course, our friends from the Atlanta Housing Authority are at the table. But guess who also is at the table? The Atlanta Public School Board is at the table. MARTA is at the table. A host of other individuals at our Fulton County Recreation Authority, the Atlanta Land Bank, the Atlanta Land Trust, the state of Georgia, HUD is also at the table. Anybody, anywhere who touches housing, we're all sitting in a room now plotting and planning together about how we get housing out of the ground faster. We have worked to remove barriers of permitting. We've accelerated our permitting time, particularly for affordable housing efforts. Again, we raised a bunch of money to help close any financial gaps. We are coordinating in a way in which that hasn't happened before. And I think the special thing that we are doing is putting in use our publicly owned land. The city of Atlanta has about 2,000 acres of undeveloped land. And 2,000 acres, that's a lot of dirt. Right? And so when you are able to control and coordinate that dirt to get housing out of the ground, you remove the cost that it takes, or you reduce the cost that it takes to build housing. And so we have every intention on building on as much of those 2,000 acres as humanly possible, as fast as possible. And so we're well on our way towards reaching that goal, and that's just in 2.5 years. Yeah. So we feel good about it. No,
it's been amazing how fast y'all move. One of my big learnings too around the housing is although the mayor gets a lot of, there's a lot of obviously pressure politically on the mayor to deliver affordable housing, that nearly all overwhelmingly the amount of public finance that's available for housing comes via the Atlanta Housing Authority. That is federal money.
Yes.
So that's all the land the Atlanta Housing Authority owns, all the voucher support they provide. But the city, going back, and I know y'all are changing this, but the relative amount the city puts in from a finance perspective kind of is nowhere near the scale of what comes via the federal subsidy. But I know y'all are working hard about putting more city money into the housing. So maybe talk a little bit how y'all are thinking about providing, and I know you've already done some things, but how to bring more financing to help on affordable housing.
Yeah, so I think that happens in really two different ways. One is real simple. We're just gonna cut some checks, period. Like, we're just gonna give you money. There were 26 or so projects that were just stuck in the muck for whatever reason. They hadn't moved. Some of the projects had land assembly issues. Some of them, most of them, almost all of them, if you will, had issues of just gap financing. And so when you unpeel that, though, when you kind of got underneath the hood, I mean, these folks are short, in some cases, like $800,000. And $1 million here, $2 million there. Well, thankfully, the mayor and the former city council and our former administration actually created the beloved Community Affordable Housing Trust Fund, which is another pot of money that we have to deploy. And so we passed the Affordable Housing Bond. We've got the beloved Community Housing Trust Fund. And we started cutting checks like as fast as humanly possible. And ultimately what happened though is the private market responded. So when they saw government move, the private market said, okay, well, this is not business as usual, so it unlocks capital there. The state got excited and said, well, wait a minute, Atlanta's moving fast on affordable housing. So we're gonna, instead of giving you 6 projects from your LIHTC allocation, we're gonna give you 12. And so two things happened, right? We started giving people money to close gaps, but that created an environment of collaboration, an environment of momentum that has, I think, spurred the private market, has spurred other governmental partners, and now we're seeing money flow towards affordability, and we can continue that. Again, if there's anybody in the room who's in the affordable housing space, I want to know you. If you got a deal, I want to know about it, and I want to help you get it over the finish line.
Yeah, so I think it's a great point. So that y'all's acceleration of work on housing for those that have resources, but at a state level, because the state controls a lot of the tax allocation for the tax credit deal, as well as the federal level, y'all have attracted a lot more resources into our city because people have seen the velocity at which you're attacking it.
Yes, yeah. We are incredibly impatient. We are incredibly impatient, and that's because this is life and death for a lot of folks throughout the city. There are 2,000 homeless students, or 2,000 students who experience homelessness at one given point or another in the Atlanta public school system. There are about 2,700 or so homeless people throughout the city of Atlanta. 500 of them call downtown Atlanta home. And so we have a lot of work to do. And if you don't solve for the affordability challenge generally, more people are going to end up on the streets. More of our neighbors are going to end up sleeping outside, and we don't want to live in a city that leaves folks behind that way. And so we move heaven and earth. We are hell-bent on reaching our affordable housing goals.
No, and I appreciate, and maybe one more, and we'll open it up to the audience, because I certainly appreciated the partnership with the Westside Future Fund, but I know there are other partners that are here today and people that may be interested, but talk a little bit about y'all's philosophy, how you like to work with. You have your significant public partners like Atlanta Housing.
Yes.
But you have your private sector partners and your not-for-profit partners. But just talk a little about your all's own philosophy about how you want to engage other partners around building housing.
Yeah, the mayor would say Atlanta is a group project. And he means every bit of it. When he got elected, one of the things that he said the night he got elected, it was, I'm not going to put an S on my chest, I'm going to put an S on our chest, right? And so what that means is anybody, anywhere who is doing anything, candidly, to make Atlanta a better place, we want to know who you are. And specifically, if you're in the housing game, I mean what I said. Like, we want to know you. We want to move with you. We want to help you get your deal done and close, because that benefits the city as a whole. And sure, like, we're going to do everything we can with Larry and crew at AH to get, the 500 unit deal done and the 600 unit deal done, or the 1,000 unit deal done when we're talking about Bowen Homes or Civic Center. But we also want to do the one house deal in your neighborhood, right? The vacant lot, the dilapidated structure that has been there for 20 years. We want to help. If grandma, if you're the grandkid and grandma's got the house and grandma has gone on to glory, and y'all can't figure out what to do with the house, we can help you. We can help you figure that out too. And so we work with anybody, anywhere, anytime who's trying to make the city of Atlanta a better place. Again, whether you need funding, we don't have endless sums of money, but we can help. Right, we can get you down the road, and probably we can connect you to some folks who can help. So if you're a developer, if you are a nonprofit partner, if you are philanthropist, if you need housing, we created what we call the Housing Help Center. And it is what it sounds like. We are very bad at naming things. We don't have cute names. We call it what it is. Housing Help Center. What do you think the Housing Help Center does? Exactly. Get folks help who need housing, right? And so it's actually in 2 Peachtree Street, which I haven't mentioned. I'll talk about that in a second. But you can literally sign up. You can call 311, go to the Housing Help Center, and they'll do everything from eviction relief. If you've got an heirs property issue, if you need help with your will, your family writing the will, they'll help you there. If you got a landlord who is doing crazy stuff, they'll get you connected to the Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation, and we can help you there. And so that's an incredible resource. Since we opened the doors last October, they have served almost 3,000 people in that time, and we're really excited about that. We are moving. I mentioned our publicly owned land. We purchased what was the tallest office building in the city of Atlanta, 2 Peachtree Street, in the 60s. It's it used to be a bank. What was it? First National. It used to be First National. And we're going to convert that into housing as well. It's a 42-story office building, and so it'll be the largest office to residential conversion in the United States. You've seen us. Has anybody heard about the Melody? So the Melody is supportive housing, 100% supportive housing that was built in 4 months from repurposed shipping containers. We built one in 4 months. We have another 2 on the way. It's a long-winded way of saying we have built housing in parking lots. We are turning office buildings into housing. Of course, we're doing ground-up construction on any land that we can find. We want to build housing on it. And so we're moving like the world's coming to an end, and we want to be in partnership with folks in this room.
No, thank you. And I want to open up to Q&A now from the audience. So if you have a question, raise your hand. A mic will be brought to you. May not be able to get to everyone. We got about 10 minutes or so for Q&A. And so I see the first. Okay, great. Down in the back.
I was just wondering, with all of the residential expansion that's concentrated within the city of Atlanta, are there any plans to expand Atlanta public schools or even charter schools? Because what I'm hearing from parents is that it's not enough schools in the city. What's the plan with that, or do you even know?
I'll put my APS hat on for 2 seconds, even though I don't want to be stressed out. I left the school board in 2018. No, I serving on the school board was the honor of my life. I joke when I say that. What I will challenge us on is we have more than enough schools. APS was built to hold 115,000 kids. There are 52,000 kids in the school system today. Now, the question is whether or not we have enough schools that anybody in this room would blindly send their kid to and not worry about it, right? And the answer to that, varies upon who you ask. If you draw a dotted line from Northwest Atlanta to Southeast Atlanta, right? what you will find is that the majority of the folks who live on the north end of that line are white and middle class to affluent. The majority of the folks who live on the bottom of that line are overwhelmingly, almost 100% African American. And the income's mixed, but there are certainly areas that are on the lower economic end of the spectrum. Now, where do you think the empty schools are? They're on the south side of the city, right? So North Atlanta, Midtown High, now Maynard Jackson are literally bursting out of the seams. Like you can't get in there if you tried. However, schools on the south side of the city are empty. They were built to hold 2,000 kids. Some of them have less than 1,000. APS doesn't get any funding from the state for schools that have less than, for elementary schools that have less than 300, it's either 300 or 450 kids, I can't remember. But the point I'm making is, I think APS's challenge is how do we make all of our schools up to par? How do we make sure that all of our schools in every single neighborhood throughout the city are phenomenal? We believe at the city that the key thing that holds kids back actually has less to do, candidly, with the quality of the teacher or the principal. We think our biggest problem in the city of Atlanta is poverty. And so when we attack the right problem, we're going to let APS do their thing inside of the classroom. But through our neighborhood strategy, we believe we can address the negative impacts of poverty. And by doing so, we'll rise the tide throughout our city and create better outcomes for kids and families on the whole. So that's our thinking. But I'll leave this APS specific question to APS.
Thank you. And I ask, please, if you can, keep your question very brief so we can get to as many people as possible.
Good morning. Courtney, you've done a great job with the presentation.
Thank you.
I would also like to say to Westside Future Fund, I found that the way you handle your affordable housing is really good in terms of the people on the street. So I just want to commend you for that.
Thank you.
In the room, if you are considering affordable housing, and you don't have to, but if you're going to use that language, really affordable is no more than $800 a month. That is what is considered affordable. If you use that language, that's what people are thinking about. Just wanted to let you know that. Also, from constituent services, when people are walking in the door, we have a need for immediate, short-term emergency housing.
Yes.
Shelter, if you will call it that, but the families look very different. So I have a 12-year-old child and a 7-year-old child. They don't have a shelter for that mom. So when people are coming in, we need time to find them somewhere to go, but we don't have anywhere to send them in order to work on them with that time. So that's just something I want you guys to think about.
Hi, thank you. You guys are doing an incredible job with affordable housing. I am an affordable housing renter in the city in the Southwest, so thank you for all the things that you've done. The money flowing through the owners and the developers is great, and that's one thing, but is the mayor's office considering the other side of that, the accountability part of it? So for when owners and developers are not, standing true to the, stipulations of the tax credits that they're supposed to be doing, like who's looking out for us on that end? Yeah,
it happens on two fronts. One is there's an entire office. We got folks from our planning office here. Inside of our office of planning, in fact, it's the Office of Housing and Neighborhoods inside of the planning department. There's an entire accountability team that does nothing but make sure folks are developing the units that they're supposed to be developing, and that those units are staying affordable for however long they're supposed to be affordable. The other end of that is we got some landlords who are bad actors, who are just awful, candidly. And so we launched what we call the Mayor's Safe and Secure Housing Initiative. You've seen us go after landlords like the owners of Forest Cove. Forest Cove was in Southeast Atlanta. We relocated all of those residents off of that property. The property has been demolished, and it was really bad. It was third world living conditions. And so that owner not only has lost control, or at least their HUD subsidy on that property, but they've lost the ability to apply for HUD subsidy anywhere in the country. And so if you are doing wrong by people, we are going to come see about you.
Is it on? Hello, yeah. Hey, Courtney. Maria Supporta with Supporta Report. I hear what you're saying about affordable housing, that is a singular focus, your love language, and that if you want to talk about anything at the city, let's start talking affordable housing. The whole idea of purpose-built communities and the whole neighborhood development is actually to look at building communities, which is more than just affordable housing. And I'd love for you to comment the role of green space, the role of transit. You have a whole bunch of density, like what's being proposed at Diamond Hill, and yet there's not the kind of infrastructure to support that, whether it's roads or transit. And I just would love for you to comment about that.
Yeah, well, we believe, let me just clarify. So we believe that we believe in the holistic approach. And so all of our work, John made me talk about housing specifically, so blame him. But no, we believe that every component on our team that our mayor has created, we believe has a critical function, if you will, to create a healthy whole neighborhood. So our goal is to add more green space, is to improve transit access, is to bring grocery store. We have a whole grocery store initiative. In fact, I'm not going to make any news here today. Are we on the record? Never mind. The mayor announced let me say it this way, at his State of the City speech, he announced that a new grocery store would be coming to the south side of the city. I would say in the next few months, you will hear more about that, right? And by the end of the year, top of next year, you will have a ribbon cutting. We're going to leave that at that, right? And so, but when you see us kind of actually, I'll talk about, kind of an elephant in the room we're going through with Marta right now. When you see us try to downsize or rescope specific projects, that's in service to a broader neighborhood revitalization goal. We believe that transit should move people from point A to point B. We believe that people who are dependent on MARTA, dependent on public transit, need access to public transit, and that access should be easy. And so we are working to develop transit options for those folks. So we're excited about a BRT line down Campbell's Road. We're excited about a crosstown BRT line that will get you from Pont City Market all the way to Bowen Homes. Now, what two key corridors did I say that we're focused on? Campbellton Road and Bowen Homes. So we're not moving without intention. And so everything you'll see us doing, we are layering levels of support inside of our neighborhoods. The mayor launched Year to Youth. We've hired 9,000 young people and paid them all $17 an hour. And thank you. And guess what happens when you do that? Guess what happens when you do that? Right? So you provide those young folks opportunity, you provide them access to people, you provide them hope, and crime also goes down, right? So Atlanta had the third highest drop in violent crime in the entire country through Q3 of last year. Think about that for a second. And yeah, thank you. And that didn't happen necessarily, like we do love and support all the great work that Chief Shearbaum is doing with the police department, but that happened in part because we are investing in people. We're investing in green space. We're investing in food opportunities. We're investing in opportunities to stop and curb and mitigate the negative effects of homelessness. We are trying to bring jobs back to our community. And so we do take and deeply believe in that holistic approach, and we think it's paying dividends for the city as a whole.
I think we have time for one more question, but thank you.
Hey, how you doing today? My name is Nikki Watson. I didn't have a time to introduce myself, but we have a nonprofit called Future Successors. We teach kids about entrepreneurship and leadership. And you said a lot of things, and I know you have a lot that's keeping you up at night. So what is one thing that you want us here in the room to support you? What is a call to action?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I hope everybody listen to this and they can help me out with this. What's your low-hanging fruit?
Wow. So I will say broadly, I mean, we believe. I go back to the group project concept. Like, we need you to do what you do. Government can't be all things to all people. We can convene, we can help fund, we can help kind of define a North Star, and we can remove a whole lot of barriers, but we need you to do what you do. So part of what happened during the Year of the Youth, there was a $30 million effort. So we put in a little bit, the mayor raised a little bit, APS put in a little bit, and we launched the city's first ever $20 million effort towards early childhood education. And then the other $9 million was spent on organizations like yours, right? Like we spent a ton of money just investing in people who are already doing the work. So one is keep doing the work. Two is we believe in place-based transformation. So when you concentrate the area in a neighborhood, when you concentrate the area in like the Westside Future Fund footprint over time, and you keep doing it and you keep doing it, and you've got government that comes alongside of you, business that comes alongside of you, and philanthropy that comes alongside of you, we believe you'll see tangible, meaningful results over time. And so keep doing it and hook up with us so we can figure out how to maximize and grow your impact. But keep doing what you're doing and keep doing it in place. The power of place is everything. We are products of the neighborhoods that we are all in, right? Like somebody asked about APS earlier, school's not gonna outperform the neighborhood. Hate to break it to you. School's not gonna outperform the neighborhood, and the neighborhood traditionally is not gonna outperform the school. Right, so you have to have both working on both ends. Folks doing good stuff inside of the schoolhouse, and folks doing good stuff outside of the schoolhouse to make change happen. And so we want to know you. Keep plowing along. If there's an obstacle that needs to be moved, I want to know about it. If there's a person who needs to be moved, I want to know about that too. And we believe that, again, taking this group project approach, we can build a better, safer city for all.
No, thank you. And as we wrap up, I do, and for all of us that want to make our city a different place, so especially our West Side a different place, what I really appreciate we have an opportunity to really take advantage of is how much energy y'all's work ethic is unbelievable in terms of how hard y'all work every day, you and your entire team. But it's really a special time for all of us who want to make a difference to take an advantage of the opportunity that y'all are bringing to us. I would encourage, us at the West Side, but all of us, it really is a special time because you never know what 10 years out is. But right now, y'all's focus and intentionality is really special to see. So thank you. Let's give Courtney a big shout out for being here.
Thank you guys. Love y'all. Appreciate it, baby. Thank you.
So we're going to finish up real quickly. We always want to make sure we do our gift drawing, because we say at the beginning we're going to do the Home Depot and Goodwill gift card. So we're going to close up. Ebony's going to call out a couple numbers, and then we'll be done. But we want to make sure those who are waiting for that gift card have this opportunity. So go.
Yes. Okay. Was that an excellent conversation? I was looking forward to this very much so, and I was not disappointed. So again, thank you, Courtney, for being here today. Red ticket winning number is 3991516, and that is for the Home Depot Foundation gift card. Again, red ticket winning number 3991516.
To the right, all right.
Perfect. Goodwill of North Georgia, white winning ticket number is 3140236. Hey, well, come on up. Congratulations. Congratulations. And we're going to get a picture in just a minute, okay? Thank you. You're fine.
All right, everyone, thanks for being here for another great summit, helping us build a community. Have a great weekend.
See you next month.